I really like Zoom. Of course, you know, they make them right here in Eufaula.
I didn't know that.
The company's in
Georgia.
but they make them. Southern Plastics makes them right there across from Humminbird.
Where's the Humminbird factory in Eufaula now?
You know where the state docks is at? Where that barge is sunk?
Yeah.
Come out, back out the lake just a little bit, and there's a slough that cuts in there, and Humminbird's right there on the water.
I did not know that. I knew they built a new facility, or I thought they did.
Yeah, they built that years ago, but they keep on adding on to it. Matter of fact, they're adding on to it now. Josh, he's got folks working now. He said they're having a hard time hiring folks to work. And what they do now is they work 3 12-hour shifts. He's running 6 days a week now. You know, they don't work on Sunday, but they run 6 days a week. And you, like, say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 1 week, and then you switch them up. That way you'll have some weekend time, you know. But they basically work 36 hours, and they're giving them 40 hours of pay.
Well,
yeah. And he said that he said like when the live unit come out, they were expecting to sell 10,000 the first year. He said they had orders for 40,000. They building a new line just for it. He had to hire. He put on a second shift. They were just building them during the daylight hours. Now they're building them around the clock.
That's a good issue to have.
Yeah, boy, he hooked me up too. Just like I said, I don't really have to go through the weight line. I tell Josh, you know, something wrong, and he'll say, well, bring it to church, I'll take it in, and I'll have it the next day or that day. And but I had my live unit, that little brass press in thing, that heat press in that goes in there. That brass thing come out, and I told the dealer about it, and they said, well, you're probably better off doing, you know, getting up there. So I told Josh about it. There you go. That's a keeper.
Get in
Easy.
A little spotted dog.
I was gonna say it looked like a spot.
He done got mad. He done got angry.
If I could catch them with the same dang size, I'd rather catch a stinking spotted bass.
They'll fight, won't they?
You right, they will.
That's looks like he's got a little bit of a bloody tail, like he's trying to bend a little bit.
Yeah, he 15 inches. That's definitely a spot. You can see the tooth touch good on him. But I took that live unit up there to him. He said, I was going to hook you up with one of our prototypes, but they made me send them to Lake Lanier. And anyways, he come back, he said, this one right here is a little bit better than what you had. He said,
can't beat that.
I don't know what makes it better, but what made it even better than that is he had another one that was there that had a little bit of epoxy on the side where they glued, so they couldn't go in production. So he said, you can have this one here as a backup. So I got a spare transducer in the boat.
There you go.
I know that sounds like bragging, but it's more because I'm happy than anything.
Hey, if you got a connection, buddy, do it. You got the connection, you do it.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I didn't ask for it, he just give it to me. But he knows I'm using it for high school tournament, you know, type stuff too. So. It don't
I was
cost
not
him.
expecting that to be a spot.
Me neither. They got to be another largemouth in there. If that other one was on the bed, there got to be another spot in there if that one was on the bed too.
I'm hoping that was the boyfriend's, what I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's sort of odd that they be mixed up like that. Or will they mix up
I've seen them do it before.
I know they got the mean
not-
mouth, but
It's not real. It's not a
common.
common thing, but I have seen them.
I've heard of a mean mouth, but I thought that was a small mouth and a spotted bass.
It is. Well, at least the ones I've ever seen are.
Yeah, my buddy, he thought he'd caught his personal best spotted bass, or I mean personal best smallmouth, because he just got up, like I said, just moved to Tennessee and he's up on Chickamauga. He said that was, somebody told him, said that's a mean mouth. He said, well, I reckon I got my personal best mean mouth then. And first one too. About a 3 or 4 pounder.
Let's get number 5 and then let's start culling.
Yep. That's when you're good. My son, he can get up there at daggum Lake Martin, and we ain't far from the boat ramp when we start out. And that lake, he can fish that lake for some reason or other. Usually he's culling by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everybody else runs past us. Well, we was there one day on practice. A group of guys duck hunting, so there wasn't anybody practice on that spot, but we had already fished it, several times, and no fish was there and how to fish it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just told him, I said, hey, we just gonna go way up yonder and get way out of where them duck hunters was at, and then we're gonna work our way as close as we can get to them. But they wasn't there that day, but everybody else thought they was, and by 8 o'clock we had 5 fish in the boat. And we had got our live on, and after Josh took care of us, the first tournament we really had success with it, he was about one running with it then. It must have been my eyes. But he used it, and he can read it better than I can. But we found some schooling bass out there, and he noticed they was on top of brush piles,
Mm-hmm.
throwing a jerk bait out there. A deep diving jerk bait, and then we figured that pattern out, and he got the cool on that day too. I think they'd caught right around 20 or something that day. So they were doing good. There wasn't none of them no size, because it was Lake Martin.
Right. Lake Martin has gotten a lot better, but it can be kind of like some other clear high lakes. It can be tough.
There's one place in there that you can go that I've caught. Probably the biggest that I've caught up there was about 3 pounds out from under a dock. But it's mostly small fish. I noticed where somebody that had posted on there where they'd caught a couple of 4 or 5 pounders out of there. They putting this weekend, Alabama Power and the Fishery Commission's putting brush pile. They got a brush pile project they're putting out. Our team's going up there to do that. Of course, I'm gonna be down here. Supposed to be one of the marshals.
I don't know how many marshals they ended up getting for this tournament, because they got several co-anglers.
I think 12, I think. Jeffrey McCord, I don't know if you know him or not. He had asked folks if they would. Or he said there's opportunities, and I told him I'd be glad to do it. He does with the college series. them little coves and points.
They ought to be. I guarantee you, they ought to be.